Hi, my name is Kim and I'm currently on a 5-week road trip around Scotland. Here I spend my time walking along beautiful beaches, exploring old castle ruins, as well as just enjoying the beautiful countryside there is on offer. If you want to follow me on my adventures, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos. I'll see you out there. Good morning everyone and welcome from beautiful Loch Muick. Now, as you can see, it's another glorious day and it is warming up, but oh my god, it was so cold this morning. You can still see anywhere that the sun hasn't touched yet, it's still frozen. My car was completely frozen this morning, so I had to scrape it off. Got a fair bit of practice of that now, but yeah, it's gonna be a good day today. Alright, so at the car park here again, same as we've had the last few days, there is a £5 parking charge per day. But yeah, what's really nice, you do have toilets right next to the car park, so right at the start of the walk, and yeah, beautiful sights open up straight away. Now, as some of you have probably already guessed, the plan for today is to head around Loch Muick. Now, I wasn't really sure which way around, if I wanted to do it clockwise or anti-clockwise, but the sun has made the decision for me. So, as you can see at the moment, this side here is in the sun, whereas this one here is still in the shade. Now, I don't know if that left hand side, if the sun will reach it at any point today, but currently it is still very cold in the shade, and even if it stays shady in the afternoon, the temperature should be a little bit higher, so even without the sun it should be a bit warmer along that side. So I'm gonna do it, what is that, anti-clockwise, so headed down the sunny side first, and then we'll come back down the other side. Right, we've gotten to our junction, and as I said, we're turning right to go down that right hand side of the loch first, and at the end of the day we'll meet back up with this trail at this point. Anyone else find walking on cobblestones really hard? I find it really saps the energy out of you very quickly. But yeah, we're back onto the normal path. Got an old boathouse here, even has a boat ramp. This is just really beautiful. It's one of those perfect February days. Super crisp in the morning, but now in the sun it's quite warm. I am actually considering taking this off. But yeah, it's just the air smells so fresh, and it's yeah, these are one of my, definitely my favorite days in the winter. It's a pretty calm day wind-wise overall, but every now and then you get a bit more of a gust of wind, and that wind is still very cold. I'm always zip back up very quickly, but as soon as that wind drops again, it's a lovely warm day. So if you come down here, you might notice there's a few places where a large area is fenced in, and that is actually to protect the trees, the young trees, from the deer. So they are trying to restore more of the native woodlands around here, and there's also quite a big deer population, and the problem is the deer like to nibble on the small saplings, so that's why they fence in certain areas, make sure the trees can grow to a certain size. Once they're big enough to withstand the deer, the fencing will come down and they'll kind of move on to a different area. But yeah, it's really nice seeing there's a lot of areas here in Scotland where they're trying to restore the native woodlands, which is really important for the ecosystem up here. Behind me you've got Glas-allt-Shiel house or lodge. This was built by Queen Victoria after Prince Albert's death, to have another kind of retreat, quiet retreat away from Balmoral. But yeah, it's a really lovely spot. We are going to have a little look around the outside of the house in a minute. But first, I'm gonna plonk myself right down on the grass here, and we'll have a little break. Right, that was a brilliant break. It's so nice out here today. But yeah, there's one thing I want to have a look at the house. Throughout Balmoral Estate, there are a couple of bothies in various places, and one of these bothies is actually here by this house. Now let's have a look. There we go. It's a little bit dark in here, but this is nice, quite a nice bothy. You've got fireplace there, as well as space to hang some stuff, table, got 2 sleeping platforms down here, then stairs, steep stairs. Ooh. Plenty more sleeping space up here. Oh yeah, there's, looking at that sheet here, there's also a toilet on the side here, which is great. Not all bothies have that, but yeah, pretty decent. I love the idea of the bothies here in Scotland. Now if you don't know what a bothy is, it's basically a place that's open to anyone. If you need shelter out here in the wilderness. Now there's some rules with bothies, but one of the main ones, you know, as I said, it is there for everyone. Make sure you leave it nice and clean, don't leave any rubbish, carry everything back out with you, and just stuff like that. Also, if you do want to make a fire, in general, bring your own firewood, because as I said, this here is a national nature reserve, so do not cut down any trees or collect any dead wood. It's all part of the ecosystem. So yeah, make sure you're self-sufficient. But yeah, it's a really cool idea. I was thinking at staying some bothies during my time, my road trip here, but at the moment, as at the nights just get a little bit too cold for me. My sleeping bag's rated to, has like a comfort rating of pretty much 0 degrees exactly, and lately the nights have been dropping below 0, and I don't like to be cold. So we might do some bothies towards the end of the trip, but for now I'm staying in hotels. But yeah, this is such a lovely spot. Beautiful house. It's quite a shame that it's all boarded up. It would be lovely if places like this could be utilized, but yeah, guess not. For now we are gonna continuing on, and we're actually making a detour away from the loch. Heading up here behind the house is a path where you can actually get up to Loch Muick Glas-allt-Shiel, one of the Munros. Now we're not heading up all the way, but I've heard not too far up this path you do get to a beautiful waterfall, and also you can gain some elevation pretty quickly, and I would love to get more of a top-down view of the loch. So yeah, we're gonna head up there for a bit. We're just coming up out above the woodlands now, and yeah, it's heading up. But yeah, we should have some good views pretty soon, hopefully. I've just spotted my first deer of the trip. First proper wildlife I'm coming across, other than some kind of rabbits and squirrels. But yeah, I'll keep my eyes peeled to see if I can find some more. Right, while I kept my eyes open to see if I can spot any more wildlife, we've climbed up quite a bit. Let's say the views have really improved. Have a look at this. These are some pretty stunning views in my book. So yeah, if you're doing the round around Loch Muick, and if you've got the extra bit of energy, 20 minutes, 25 minutes up here, I think the detour is absolutely worth it. And at this point now, we can also see most of the waterfall. Now I'm not gonna get much higher, because I do want to start heading back down. Actually, let's just do a couple more minutes, just see if once we go around a bit of a corner, we can see the waterfall a bit clearer. So yeah, this is as far up as I'm gonna go today. But yeah, like I've said, I believe absolutely worth putting in the effort and doing this detour up here. And if your fitness is better than mine, if you've got more time, I think it would be pretty nice heading higher up and getting some even better views. One thing to say, so the path up here, it is a clear path, it's easy to follow, but it is quite a rough path, so just pay attention as you're coming up and down this way. That was for me just stepping on a rock that's a little bit, so very easy to do, so yeah, just keep your focus. Seeing that flat rock, I definitely had to climb up onto it. So obviously my stop at the Loch side was beautiful, very chill, but also if you're looking for a spot to eat lunch, I think my vote would be for this rock. I can say the views are magnificent. So I'm nearly back down to the woods and I'm just looking at the opposite side of the shore, and as I was kind of expecting earlier, a lot of the other side is still in the shade, and kind of I was thinking that might be the case, that at this time of the year the sun never goes quite high enough to light up that whole side, but there's definitely less shade than there was earlier, and like I said, the temperature obviously has increased as well. So we're still going to go down the other side. I've got my hat and another layer with me if it gets too cold in the shade. Guess we'll just walk a little bit quicker to stay warm. But yeah, we'll head back down through the woods and then continuing on our loop. And we are back down at the house. One last nice look at it. And time to continue on. Do you see that there? Another beautiful looking waterfall. Some fun stepping stones here, but I'm sure if there's been a lot of snow or a lot of rain and everything melts, a lot more of the here is underwater, because yeah, there's not that much water at the moment. I'm just getting to the section now where we're going to be in the shade for a while, so I know my ears will be cold, so I'm just going to put on my hat now, and then yeah, unfortunately we'll be out of the sun for a bit. I literally just can't stop looking at all of this here behind me. It's so beautiful. There's no wind right now, so the temperature is actually not too bad, but you can see here a lot of the path here is still frozen, so I've got to be a bit careful. And just from this side of the loch now, we actually have a beautiful view of the waterfall opposite that we've hiked up towards earlier. There you go. I honestly thought it would be a lot worse here in the shade, but yeah, it's actually fairly comfortable. Happy about the hat, that's perfect, but yeah, definitely not too cold. And I'm also really enjoying that it's an actual hiking path down this side. On the other side of the shore, as you've seen, it's a nice wide vehicle track. I mean, nice and easy to walk, fast progress, but it's not the most interesting walking surface. I much prefer these small hiking trails, even though it's just gotten very icy again. We are nearly back out in the sun. Now I am getting pretty hungry. I've had a little snack obviously earlier, but we've done a good bit of more walking since then. So as soon as I find a nice rock in the sun, I'm gonna eat my sandwich that I brought with me. And yeah, there's no wind here as I've got the sun right up there. It's finally feels warm enough to take my jacket off, and it's been a while since that has happened. So pretty good lunch spot. Alright, that sandwich hit the spot very nicely. Now the sun keeps dipping behind clouds. It's just come out again for a minute, but as soon as the sun's gone, it gets pretty cold very quickly to sit down. So yeah, I'm gonna get on the way. It's about, I think, another 2 miles to get back to the car park, and it looks like it's more just a wider track again from now. After sitting down for a bit, the legs are feeling heavy. So I'm sure in a couple of minutes they'll warm up again. But yeah, I would say I'm pretty sure this will have been the longest walk that I've done in a while. We've also obviously headed up towards the waterfall a little bit, which is you know, going up a path like that. It's I've not done that in a while, so I'll definitely be feeling that in the legs. But yeah, still feeling good. I know I've said I much prefer kind of a small little hiking trail, and generally I do find it a lot more interesting to walk along a trail with where you have to be careful about rocks and stones and stepping over stuff and so on. But right at this moment, when the legs are feeling pretty tired, just being on a nice wide track like this is nice and easy, and yeah, I don't mind it so much right now. But yeah, when the legs are fresh, not feeling too tired, definitely prefer a nice little hiking trek. This view down the glen is amazing, but like I said, I've got roughly about 2 miles to go, which doesn't sound like that much, but when you look down here, I'm pretty sure the car park is in those woods at the end. Looks pretty far away from here. I know we'll be there in I don't know, 30-ish, 35 minutes, so it's really not that far anymore, but it's always just when you see it at a distance like that, it looks quite far. Today is my last full day here in Deeside. So tomorrow I'll be headed further south, I think. But during these last couple of days here, I've absolutely loved this area. It's super beautiful, and to be honest with you, we've not even scratched the surface of everything that's around here. But yeah, it's really super beautiful. I would love to see it properly in proper winter conditions at some point, but we've not had much snow this year at all. Well, we've had a fair bit towards the end of January, I think it was, but it all went again very quickly. And unfortunately, when we had the snow, I was still working, so I couldn't really take much advantage of it. But even in these conditions, as I said, now the sun's out, it's a beautiful day, and it just looks pretty amazing. So I can definitely 100% recommend the Deeside area. As I said, if you like walking, it doesn't need to be Munros, you don't need to head up high. There's plenty of these lower level walks available, but of course, if you like to tick off your Munros, this is a great spot to start out from. And I'll be back. I know I keep saying that about many places, but there's just so many beautiful places here in Scotland. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of them. And we have officially completed the loop. So this morning we went down this way, and now we've just come back on this trail. It's roughly about another 10 minutes to get back to that car park, but we're nearly done. Now, this has been brilliant today. I can really only recommend this. And yeah, so it's about 12 kilometers to make it all the way around. Obviously, if you do that little detour like I have up towards that waterfall, it will be a little bit further, all depending on how far up you go. But I've been out here for, just check the time, for just about 4 hours now, so it will be a little bit more by the time we get back. But if it was summertime, I could have definitely spent the whole day out here, and just sat down for longer at different places. And also, if it was warm in the summer, it would have been the perfect opportunity now to go back down to the loch and put your feet in, maybe even go for a little swim. But yeah, definitely not going to do that in February, but might be an idea for the summer. Now, one thing to remember, so there's a fair bit of parking, but that does fill up in the summer. And once the car parks are full, they do close the road that comes down Glen Muick until there's obviously some space again. Because to get down here from Ballater, it's about a 7-mile single track road, and with pretty much nowhere else to keep cars in a queue or anything. So yeah, if it fills up, they do usually close the road, but then as soon as there's space, obviously they'll open it up again. So in the summer, the recommendation is to either arrive pretty early or quite late. Because the awesome thing about summer, up here it's light until probably about 10 p.m. So you could even arrive here at 6 and still have time to make your way around the loch in the light. I don't think there's much else to say. Obviously, as you've seen, the paths around the loch are pretty good. You've only got that kind of section around the back, really. That's not a wide track, that's more like a small hiking trail, but easy to follow, very clear. But yeah, the rest of it is big kind of trail like this. So yeah, let me do the last 5 minutes and I'll speak to you once we get back to the car. me forever to spot them, but there's a whole herd of deers right in the field right next to us. So there's actually 3 car parks here. So we've got one here down the lower end, right next to the toilets. Then you've got one just behind these trees here. That's the one I'm parked in. And then there's another overflow car park a little bit higher up. So yeah, fair bit of space, but like I said, it does fill up in the summer. Now, there's also a couple of picnic benches down here, which is quite nice. And we are back, and I'm definitely tired. And I just remembered something else I can give you an update on. So yesterday in the Balmoral video, I told you the kind of just the skin over the top of the back of my Achilles is a bit sore, and I was blaming my hiking boots. Now, I've had another think about it, and it's actually not my hiking boots at all, but these ones here are the culprit, my trainers, and this little plastic bit at the back. Now, I know better. These are technically really comfortable. I do like wearing them around town, but I need to wear the right socks with them, and that means socks that are higher up the back of my foot. Now, I was wearing these fair bit in Aberdeen, and then the day after when I visited Dunatar Castle. So I walked around a fair bit, and I made the stupid mistake of wearing ankle socks with them. Now, thinking back, and I don't know why I didn't make the connection yesterday, I do remember thinking, oh, the back of my heel's getting a bit sore, I should change my socks, which I never did. But yeah, they've definitely irritated the back of my foot just enough so that I felt it in my hiking boots. But yeah, lesson learned. I'll be more careful with what socks I wear with those trainers. But yeah, I put some good moisturizer and stuff on the back, and it looks much better today than it did yesterday. It was quite red, but yeah, we should be good to go, fully healed in a couple of days, and if I want to, I'll be able to wear my boots again. Alright, that's me ready to go. It's only 2:30, so it's still quite early, and normally I would definitely find a spot for some cake, but I'm feeling pretty tired today, so I think I'm gonna go back to the hostel and have a nap. Now, what's quite nice, even though I am in a dorm, everyone else has checked out this morning, and check-in, if there's anyone new arriving, is not until 5 o'clock today. So I'll be back there just after 3. So I'll definitely get a good nap in before anyone else arrives. And yeah, I think I'll be doing that today. It's nearly 5 o'clock now, and I just lied down for an hour, which was definitely needed and felt great. But I'm pretty hungry now, so I'm gonna go down, make myself some food, and then not do very much else for the rest of the evening. And yeah, so that's it for today. Tomorrow we're moving places, so we're headed somewhere else tomorrow, and I'm still planning on doing a little something on the way, but it's going to be much more chill, and I'm definitely not going to go on a long walk like the last few days, because yeah, I need a little bit rest to recover from all of that. But yeah, see you for the next video.